Hey, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Well, let's take a look. I had it ready and then I had to turn off my fan. Current blood sugar is at 5.8. Okay, fully calibrated. Its time is 6:26 in the morning. 0.975 units, and that's from a correction of active insulin still in my body. The pink is the basal rate. At 5:30, I had 2 corrections, which is causing me to go down. Just recently, I had 1 arrow, but that's calmed down. So we'll just relax at 5.8. Technically, I'm supposed to call them, and we're all supposed to start the emergency protocol. No, I'm perfectly fine with where I am. The red dot there shows when I did a blood test, which was roughly 5:15 or so. I was up early. I fell asleep early last night, so I'm up this morning. This little dot is with the phone, so don't worry about that. Time in range. Let's take a look here. 96%. 4% was above. Now, personally, I still don't like 4% above. I'm aiming for that 100% without lows, but 4% is acceptable for most diabetes team members. Okay? 96% in range, which is an awesome win. 7.3% is average sugar in millimoles per liter. So 7.3, for those of you who are my American friends, 7.3 times 18 equals 131. So it's a pretty respectable blood sugar. I'm not up and not active with a whole bunch of things. So today we're gonna discuss Royal Columbian Hospital's emergency. I've been to all the best. Stay tuned and we'll give my honest review of Royal Columbian Hospital. Stay tuned. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. Royal Columbian Hospital. It's been my hospital for years, for over 25 years. I've been going to Royal Columbian Hospital. And it's a good hospital. It's the main sort of hospital in Fraser Health. And by main, I mean it has the triage department. All the difficult cases from Fraser Health get routed to Royal Columbian. It's sort of the same as Vancouver General. Now, the last time I went in through emergency, I was brought in from, where was it? I was high and DKA. And I could sort of remember that day being brought in being taken out of an ambulance, and I guess it was a wet night, but it wasn't raining. Okay? Got wheeled in, and I can remember in the parking lot, and I can remember in the triage room. I blacked out now and again, and I was sick. And yes, it was diabetes related. But every time I've been to Royal Columbian, I've received excellent care for the level of emergency I was having. Let's get this straight. The only complaint that I have ever had was they disconnected my insulin pump. Oh, well, yes, you have to have your insulin pump disconnected. You're still going to give insulin and you're low. Well, I started to go the other way by the time they arranged for me to get home. And I've told that story on here, that I got home, took my correction dose, and started to feel better within 3 hours. I understand where they were coming from, but the newer pumps, you don't have to worry. It keeps that you get your basal rate so that your body can keep doing what it needs to do. When I went in there, I was sort of delusional the last time. I spent Christmas in the hospital, but the care I got that night was excellent. When I had my service dog, they respected my service dog, which is important. So often people will say, oh, the dog's gotta go, the dog's gotta go. Well, if he was a pup, maybe, but he's a working dog. He sat at the kind of a, emergency room cubicle. He sat at the corner, and he actually laid, and he sat up, sniffed in the air, and he started barking because he couldn't get to me to test. And I said, well, you may want to test, and I was low again. So service animals are awesome. Where Royal Columbian falters is the amount of people that come through that hospital. The emergency room facilities doesn't meet the growing needs of the area. And you could probably say that about any emergency. St. Paul's downtown is in a tight squeeze. Royal Columbian is going through a major overhaul with it going to be a new emergency department. The problem is that's probably going to be outdated by the time it's ready to go. People are going to complain about Royal Columbian, and a lot of times, oh, I have a little cut on my finger. I wasn't seen to right away. I had an abscess on the side of my leg that needed to be drained. I know it's not a pretty sight. I went there. Yes, I had to wait. But come on, emergency is there for life-threatening emergencies. For a diabetic, and I'm not a medical doctor, speak to your own doctor to get clarification. If you're unconscious because of a low or have had a severe low, if you're having any emergencies that anyone needs to go to where you're life-threatening, you're having problem breathing. For us, DKA. If you're experiencing DKA, go to emergency. A lot of areas have set up urgent care facilities, or they're across the street, or that you can go see a doctor, get treated. Even things like dehydration can be treated there. Everybody thinks, oh, yes, but if I go to Royal Columbian or any emergency, I can get care really fast. Well, yeah, you can if you're the worst case. I've had people show up while I'm there and say, oh, I have a sore throat. Well, you can go to your doctor. You can go to an urgent care facility. There's so much to offer out there. Yet, people are thinking, I don't have a doctor, or I don't really need a doctor because I can go to emergency and get all the care I need. Well, no. Emergency is meant for what it says in the name, emergency. A lot of times, the system is bogged down. Now, urgent care facilities can take care of bones and, just things you go to clinic for. You can even, I believe, don't quote me exactly, if you have to take IV meds. And IV meds are as part of the emergency room, but they're off and they're separate. You really just have to go say, hi, I'm here for IV meds. You walk down to the room, you give the nurse the thing, she calls you, you're hooked up, and then you get to go. For myself, that's a pretty nice system. You get in and you get out. I usually didn't finish my IV antibiotics there because my blood sugars just kept climbing and climbing, and they eventually admitted me. Very rarely do I, excuse me, okay, I'm going to be right back. I'm at 4.8, so we have an emergency. Not that emergency, but I'll be back. Okay, current blood sugar now is at 6. Sorry, guys. I had a low. I had to treat pretty quickly. I was dropping. I ate, and now I'm back. So, Royal Columbian Hospital emergency. First of all, great facility. Friendly staff. Got in there. got seen when appropriate. Don't use Royal Columbian or any emergency as your personal doctor's office. Don't expect to walk in there, be seen within 10 minutes, walk out of there with your drugs, and you're going to feel better. It's not going to happen. Royal Columbian emergency, 4.5 out of 5 stars. But don't be upset if things aren't happening as quickly as you like. You don't go to emergency on your way to a dinner and expect things, oh, well, I have to get going. It's not going to happen that way. You have a purpose. If you need to go to emergency, you will be seen inappropriate. Now, when you go into emergency, you will be seen by a triage nurse. You'll go through admitting to a triage nurse who will put you in ranking order, which means people who are the sickest will be seen first. Pure and simple. If you need emergency help, Royal Columbian, in my mind, is one of the best. And with that, have a great day, and we'll talk later. Bye now. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.